Sound speeds, and welcome to another reaction video. I was sent a video that was over an hour long that someone wanted me to react to, and I'm like, look, I don't have that kind of time. I don't think that anybody is going to want to watch me react to an entire hour plus long video. That would be completely insane. So I am hoping this one's shorter. I haven't actually tested it just yet. We're going to see. But without further ado, let's get right into our video. Pasting in the incognito browser, please be a shorter video. And survey says, okay, look at those coins. Those are awesome. Who in the world knew that coins could be so awesome? In America, we just have these basic coins that are barely even functional anymore. Okay, this video is called The Boom Hanger, a Must-Have, released on Morphilm Academy. I'm not smart enough to deal with wordplay like this. If it's going to be Morphilm, PH is, I guess, supposed to be an elf, an L. That's not an L. That's a L, F. I'm not smart enough for this. Okay, Morphilm. Anyway, okay, before I start to get annoyed by this. All right, this was released on the Morphilm Academy YouTube channel with 250 subscribers. This video, who knows how many likes and dislikes it has. It was released 4 years ago at the fail end of the COVID shutdown, which is pretty accurate, which was October 17, 2020, and it has 358 views. Let's waste no time and get right into watching this thing. Let's just make sure that it's going to be high enough quality for you guys to see at home. Here we go. Let's just black out the screen.
On lower budget productions, or
those are really cool. Look at this. This coin even has a hole in it. That's awesome. That one does too. These are so many different types of coins. I wonder if these are all from the same country or not. What is this? Copper on the outside of nickel, whatever. This one has, it's just so cool to see all these different coins. I want to collect them. Some countries have, there we go. That's what, a six-sided, seven-sided, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a seven-sided coin. That's awesome. In America, it's just like, oh, we're just going to take copper and throw some zinc on the outside and do some basic. And there's not much thought in American money, in my opinion, compared to other countries. Their money is just so much more awesome. Has holes in it, has multiple different types of materials you can see. And just, I'm sure I shouldn't dog American money. It just, I guess you could just say I'm bored with it after almost 50 years. All right, here we go.
Or for A&G work, the sound recordist will often be both the sound mixer and the boom operator.
This is correct. This is called an E&G, electronic news gathering, or reality sound mixer, where they are basically a one-stop shop for everything that is sound. One person on set to do all sound. And unfortunately, the sound world in E&G is getting more complex. It is You're carrying more wireless channels. You're having to carry higher track count recorders, more receivers, all this kind of stuff. So that way you are carrying more and more things that production wants to all have in post. In the meantime, the camera world is getting smaller and smaller, higher quality cameras. And so they're able to run and gun quicker with it. But yet there's still this whole stigma of sound people are just naturally all it is you just throw a microphone on someone and you go, right? Well, the thing about it is, it takes a lot of skill to make something look automatic, and being an E&G sound mixer is no different. I've done it. I don't like it. That's why I haven't done it in almost 10 years. But the thing about it is, you still are required to carry all the stuff with you, have everything, and normally you don't even have an assistant. You don't have an A2 or an A1 or somebody there that's an assistant to you to help you with wiring or help you with other things. You do it all yourself. And that takes a lot of time, especially if you have like 8 to 10, 12 talent or something like that. In addition to you breaking your back because you have a harness and you're carrying everything right there on your spine and in your bag, you still have a whole lot of stuff you have to do. And you have to carry a lot of it. And then if a camera turns and runs and they're just holding a little lightweight camera because things have gotten really light in that world, they can easily go running. You're having to catch up with them and carry this big honking bag that weighs like 30, 40 pounds, something like that, and chase them. And yet they're the ones that are paid so much money. Sound people that do E&G work need to be paid and compensated accordingly. It's not the same as you just, going out there and setting a couple of lights, even though I've been on those types of shows where I have been a full bag mixer with all this gear, and yet they've paid me less than they have paid a lighting guy that comes out there and doesn't know how to properly set a C-stand or a flag. And then they say, okay, well, the DP told me what to do and now it's lit. So now I got to sit there and sit on my phone for 3 hours and not do anything. And yes, I have been in that situation. That's one of the reasons I don't do this anymore. I told them I'm not going to do that anymore. Anyway.
So it can get complicated to try to mix and boom at the same time. That's where
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why you'll see a lot of mixers that will either go over their shoulder, they'll take their boom pole, they'll rest it over his shoulder, or they'll rest it on top of their head. Personally, this is a very, very bad thing because anytime you start to, if you rest on your shoulder, you might cut the edge of a frame off. If you rest on top of your head, you're decompressing your spine by pressing down on it. There's all kinds of issues. Normally, the higher you can get it up there, the better. I know that companies like the Easy Boom Rig and Boom Operator, those can be mounted underneath a harness, or you can put a harness on them and still use something like that. Do you want to carry around one of those rigs? Do you not? Is it too bulky for you? Is it not? Is it a back saver and that's all you care about? You'll make everything else work. It's up to you. But this is about the Boom Hanger. I know this product, so let's go ahead and watch.
the boom hanger comes in.
So much music.
Welcome to Morphilm Academy, product review series.
Yes, let's spell it with
Boom.
PH.
It's a strong plastic hook.
And it could be easily 3D printed. I mean, it's obviously it's made, well, but it's very simple.
Made to support a boom pole, both to reduce the weight on your arms.
You can see it actually mounted right here. He has it clipped up very high on one of these little these loops that go through on the harness. That's where it is. So you can very easily just mount it up really high and the hanger gets right off of there.
As well as free your hand to adjust the faders while booming.
So this, as opposed to running over the back over your shoulder, this puts it in front so you can do this easier and see where the boom is going in front of you, as opposed to going over your shoulder and turning your back on it a little bit and having to crank your neck way over in order to see where it's going.
So is this product any good? Yes, it's extremely useful and versatile. It has a great build quality and feels very solid. It's helped me quite a lot on several shoots since I got it. That said, there are a few things to keep in mind. First of all, to use it, the boom hanger needs to be attached to a harness, a lanyard, a shoulder strap, etc. I find that the best option is obviously a harness.
Okay, well, obviously, if you're doing any kind of ENG work, you're going to want to mount it to a harness. Most harnesses come with all kinds of D-rings or something like that, little like straps. You can see it all over this. And it's very easy for you to mount one of these things on there. You just hook it on there. And the fact that it has padding on the outside of it will make it even quieter when you put the boom on and off of it.
I've tried it with several harnesses and they will not all be able to use it properly.
Not all of them, but most of them do, especially the professional harnesses that you have this day and age.
This Orca OR40 harness, for example, there's no ideal place to put it.
Well, okay, look at this. There's a little strap up there. If you want to mount it on this side, there may not be a strap on the other side. But here's the thing. A lot of these harnesses, they do have an option where you can install, like you could buy rings that would go on the outside. You may say, well, what about having them slide down? What if if you click something like that on the outside of it, Velcro it on the outside, it will slide down. That is true to a degree, but you could very easily put something around there and add tape to it, or just, you can easily, clip something on there. There are clips that you can actually make that will clip on there and then secure on top of it. So there are options for hanging something onto a strap if that's what you want.
This belt strap is a bit too low and too close to the sound bag, so the boom gets in the way. I tried using the included carabiner to attach it to the D-ring.
Okay, that's the wrong, this is not what you want to do, because you see how heavy duty this thing is? The idea of something like this is that you want to be able to remove it real quick and easy. And you could just go clip off of that with the boom hanger, put it someplace. That way it's not going to be on your shoulder if you're going to be running, because it may end up, if your whole harness isn't set right, it may end up falling off. You want it to be able to lock on there nicely. And those are locking like chain links, not chain links. Actually, it is a chain link, isn't it? So it's locking like a link to a chain, so that way it's not going to go anywhere. And those are extremely helpful to have, because you basically screw the thing in place and it's not going to go anywhere. So it's going to hold your D-rings in place, which is great. But there are other better options. Let's see if he goes into those.
And it works, but does not feel very stable, and I needed to keep readjusting the hook. On the right side, if I remove the USB cable, it fits in there pretty well, and is just the right height. But
it's so funny to me, offering USB cables. Yes, I understand the purpose of them. They are very convenient to have on set, because you might need to charge up something. You might want to access something on a recorder or whatever. But still, it's just so funny to me that when I first started this industry, we didn't have so much USB stuff. It was just plug in your batteries, go out with it and do something with it. And if you need to update your firmware, you had to connect up a cable from your computer and then do your update. Now, a lot of them are done via the app. It's amazing.
But I don't know if the silicone will hold over time. There's another belt strap higher, which holds it well, but the boom pole does choke me
It's down your face, yeah.
too high. On the other hand, it works perfectly with the K-Tech Stingray harness, which has several straps at different levels and on both sides. I would definitely recommend this harness with the boom hanger. I also tried this cheap tactical harness.
Yeah, the word there is cheap. You don't want to use a cheap anything because it's not going to hold right. It's going to put pressure on the wrong area of your back. I've used some cheaper harnesses, and every single harness will hold onto your back someplace different. Some of them just put all your pressure up on your shoulders. Some of them will transfer it to your waist and put a little bit on your shoulders. Some will just put it really awkward right on the back of your neck. Like one that I used just literally had it cutting, the strap went up and it literally cut into the back of my spine, which made me feel like I was being pressed down even worse than it would if I was just using a strap. I hated it. That thing was horrible.
Which is not made for this, but with the carabiner, it does work. Although, again,
it's going to flap up and down. If you start running, that could make noise. Even then, there's plastic touching metal right there. And so what you want to do is secure this down. Now, if you wanted to use this exact configuration and you wanted to run with it like that, you have the positioning and you really like it, there's nothing that says you can't wrap silicone tape around this to lock it in place even. So you have that as an option as well.
Very stable. With the shoulder strap, like this one by Low Pro, it can work, but it does not support the weight properly, so you do feel it after a while. With the lanyard, it's not comfortable and
it's also way too low. It's going to put it right on top of your bag.
Hurts the neck. I do not recommend it. So overall, you need a harness with a strap at the right height for it to work properly. So keep that in mind before buying the boom hanger. I think that a way to
and that right height is going to be something that you have to determine for yourself. I can't tell you where that's going to be. Like he said, you don't want it up too high because it's going to start to cut off your neck. You don't want it the wrong side because it's going to be right across your face. You want it to be at the right height where it's going to be out of your way, your line of sight down to your bag, but at the same time, it's going to be high enough that you can still get your hand underneath it. And just, it's got to be comfortable. It's got to work well for you. And you might want to consider trying something like this with various different heights before you kind of figure out exactly where you want it to be and run with it 1 or 2 shows at that height with a temporary solution, even if it's tape, before you actually secure it down permanently, if that's the way you want to go with it.
Fix this would be to include a Velcro strap so it can be attached to a vertical harness strap, or maybe even make a rotating clip that will work both vertically and horizontally. I noticed a few other things.
Some companies make those.
Is that it comes with a foam piece that sticks on the hook to prevent scratching, slipping, and
it almost looked like it was loose. Like if you looked at it, it almost looked like it was loose on one side. Hopefully it doesn't come off that easily.
some boom noises. It works great, and it's really nice that they included that, but I find it could have been designed better. For this price, I would expect the phone to actually be cut properly to fit the hook. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal, it does not affect the performance, just makes it feel a bit cheap and like it could come off more easily. The second thing is the little carabiner it comes with. It's nice that it's included, but I do find it too small and it fits awkwardly in the hook.
Yeah, you see, I wouldn't want to use one of those because it just, yeah, it may lock it in place, but to me, that's the wrong kind of design. It's way too big. Like you said, you want it to be smaller so that way it grabs hold and holds it even better. Like even if they were to install an extra little loop up here on the very, very top, or an extra piece off of the end of the boom hanger that allows it to, like that way it's like the actual thing like this, and then you have it as an additional place that grabs the carabiner and you just thread it right through that. That way you're not actually threading it through the part that is the clip. If you're going to install a security thing, feel free to install it as a standalone thing that's outside of the regular hook.
I was able, however, to use it with another carabiner which works better. There's also other ways the boom hanger can be used. For example, you can use two of them.
I'm so glad we're no longer in COVID. I hated it back then, but I hate seeing masks on people. People that still do it this day and age, it drives me nuts. Anyway, I won't go down that tangent.
On each side of the harness for more stability. You could also use it to hang your headphones or XLR cable to a harness or directly to the sound bag. So this simple hook can become quite a versatile tool.
Usually what I will do on something more like where it's going to be installed, as opposed to putting headphones directly on the side of a hook or something like that, I usually will have one of those pieces of Velcro that will like do this number. You can mount it someplace, and it's a piece of Velcro that basically holds itself in this position, and you take a piece of Velcro over the top of it. So if you installed something like the boom hanger, and then you had a strip of Velcro that you installed over the top of it that would secure it to the bottom, that's personally more along the lines of what I would do. I have other solutions that basically I will just have it sandwich over on top of itself. That way, it's going to hold it much more secure. And that way, if my bag gets bumped or something like that, the headphones aren't going to fall off.
Overall, I find that this product is a fantastic idea. It's so simple yet so useful. It works great when you have the right harness. I really recommend this product if you're a solo sound recorder.
And it does do its job, and it does it well. It's very, very simple. It's exactly the way you want it to be. It may be nice if it was a little bit heavier duty or a little more streamlined, like you said, with regards to the foam being cut out a little bit better. It also looked like it was coming undone on a little bit on one side. So maybe a heavy duty adhesive, or if you were going to do something like that, wrap the whole entire thing with shrink wrap all the way around, and then that way the padding and everything is. I mean, you could take the whole plastic thing, wrap it in rubber, shrink wrap, which is something that I do quite often on certain things, like you even see on my video where I do the boom operator, I put shrink wrap to secure the carabiner to the clips on the retractable cables. I do that kind of stuff all the time on devices because it takes the curse off of any noise that hits something that's a metal or a hard plastic. Just by having the stretch wrap, the shrink wrap, something like that, it really helps. It does.
It will definitely make your job easier and is completely worth it.
Okay, so that was a product review from Morphilm Academy. And I mean, I'm not 100% sure as to why I was asked to do a reaction video to this. The product is good for what it is. On ENG bag mixing and stuff like that, it's cool. It's fine. It holds it for you. It's pretty versatile. Allows you to clip it on basically any place you have a little ring that will hold it. And so it serves a purpose. If that is the kind of thing that you want, then absolutely get one. It's nothing that really is. I mean, maybe it's that I don't do enough bag mixing to really say, oh, this is a back saver. This is a game changer, something like that. But to me, it's a nice little tool. It's like many other products that we have out there that serves its purpose and does it well. The boom hanger is something that's been around for a few years now. And I think that, more power to them for selling them and offering this as a service to the people. Awesome. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Sound Speeds. And I appreciate you watching. If you have anything you want me to react to, send me that in the email at alan@soundspeeds.us. I promise I've been doing enough of these outros. You would think that I would know how to do it seamlessly by now. But anyway, so thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in, listening, and paying attention. And as always, I will bring you more in the future sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.